I just found out I can go live now. I didn't know this was a thing. Like I've been trying to go live since forever, and it's letting me go live. This shit is crazy. I don't know what the fuck I did, but I can go live now apparently. So we're gonna be doing some lives pretty soon. We're gonna be doing some lives pretty soon. Yo, what up, Rave? This shit is new, man. They let me go live now. I ain't even know. Hey, I've been trying to go live for a hot ass minute. I didn't even know I could do that shit now. Like I think the last time I tried like a month ago and it wouldn't let me go live. Like I tried a month ago and it was like you don't have enough subscribers and shit. I'm like, bruh, how the hell? I got a video upload right now, so I'm gonna end up cutting this off here in a bit, but we gonna have to figure out, I guess, a stream schedule or something. We got to figure something out. They done fucked up giving me this shit. They done fucked up giving me this shit. I'm gonna have some funky ass topics for y'all ass. Hell no, don't do that, Ray. Please don't. Please don't. I don't want no spamming. None whatsoever. Nah, I'm very chill. Uh, y'all watch that game? What up, Ryan? Yeah, I was sitting here watching the game. I was eating and shit and everything. I had a baked potato and some chicken. You know what, man? The game was okay. The game was okay. It wasn't anything I didn't expect. It was just a matter of, okay, are they gonna schematically do what they were supposed to do? Were they going to were they gonna take advantages of the mismatches? I mean, Vooch wasn't hitting a motherfucking thing. The Roses started to come alive in the third quarter, but it was mainly just Zoe and Zach. And like bench player contributions here and there, like Green. Hold on, let me turn this shit off. The sounds in the background. But it was mainly like it seemed like this is the way it's gonna be. Two of the starters gonna have a good game, and then like a bench player or two is gonna show up and do something you wouldn't expect from them. So like tonight, Alize Johnson, I think it was, he was getting some rebounds. He was out there hustling. Caruso is gonna be consistent. You know what you're gonna get from him every fucking night. But like last game, it was like Zach showed up, and then you had Javante Green, and then this game you got Lonzo and Zach, and then Caruso giving you straight production, and then it's like, okay, whatever the fuck else you need. I don't even know what half these icons down here mean. I'm afraid to touch some. I might fuck some shit up. I might fuck some shit up. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I ain't never did this shit before a day in my life. Yeah, Vooch missed like a bunch of shots, man. His shot has not fallen, but I'm like, I ain't tripping. You know, to me, the threat that he brings is still just as valuable as the shots he takes and makes or misses. So for me, it's kind of like, okay, he might be out there be like hypothetically 4-15, but are you gonna just leave him open? Probably not. So, I mean, I like the fact that in the pick and roll, Zoe is looking for him. You know, by the way, he is running pick and roll. So, Zoe don't run pick and roll. All that shit can go away. But yeah, man, what did y'all like about the game? Zoe showed improvement. I mean, yeah, but he's been working on that all off season. Lonzo was balling. I wish he would have had more assists though, but it's just preseason. Eh, like, here's the thing: if you watch the game, there's some dimes that he be throwing out on the table, and people just don't finish it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it'll balance out later in the season when Vooch is on his stride and shit. He'll just start knocking them down, and it'll be like, oh, Zoe got 15 assists this game, or Zoe got 12 assists this game. It's like big whoop. We know we expect him to do this. I'm not worried about it. Figure things out. Figure where your shot's gonna come from, and we'll adjust on the fly. I'm glad I'm live too. I didn't know I could go live. Like, I literally just decided to try it randomly. And it was like, yeah, you can go live. I was like, oh shit. you know, Zoe still needs to get more involved. But see, here's the thing: people got to realize, like, Zoe trying to figure it out. He's trying to figure it out. So give him time. Like, if you pay attention from the first quarter to the second quarter, he was in with DeRozan. He was like, all right, DeRozan ain't got it. Cool. I'm gonna take this shot mid range. Okay, cool. Next play down. I'm gonna take this three. Bam. Okay. Team is like, Zoe to hit two shots. Fine, Zoe. Zoe hits another three. Timeout. That was literally it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't um it wasn't anything major. It was just It's just he go with the flow of the game. They left him. He needed to take the shots. It was there. Let's see. DeRozan speed the game up just a little. No, I don't think DeRozan gonna do that. DeRozan slows the game down because he's a ball pounder, and you need him. Like, you don't need DeRozan in the playoffs, so I'm not tripping too much. But if you notice, it's almost like when they kind of cut DeRozan out of the offense, they seem to work better together, and then he just comes in and he gets his shot, and it works like that. So we'll see. I'm still trying to figure it out with DeRozan. He is a ball pounder, but I think he should probably run pick and roll in the half court with Vooch, with the second unit, and I think that'll be better. Let's see. Let's see. Do you? Yep, I'm live, people. I'm live. Do you think the Bulls start Patrick Williams when he get back, or do you think Kobe White will be there? Hell yeah, they start Pat. They need the size. They definitely need the size. So they gonna start him. I mean, Javante Green, he's okay, but he can't guard true bigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got lucky because they soft as shit in Cleveland, but yeah, they gonna play Pat. Hell, he's the what, fourth or sixth pick? I forgot which one he is. He's up there. They gonna play him. He gonna come back. He gonna start. Now, like I said, depending on how they view it, they may have him ease back in off the bench, but he gonna play. Kobe gonna be on a minutes restriction probably. They gonna test him out. They not just gonna let him go out there and just start hooping. They gonna monitor him very closely. Let's see what we got here. Appreciate that, KC. Zach, here's the thing: Zach ain't really ball dominant. I mean, I guess he is. Zach is having to learn, like, okay, for Zach, it's like, okay, bro, I'm used to having the ball whenever I want it. So I now got easy shots coming. How do I deal with this? Like, how do I be effective? Because last year, if you watched, even like, and I mentioned this in my video that's currently uploading, um, when Zach played the Pelicans last year, when he was off the ball, he was kind of chilling on the perimeter on the other side, and Kobe had the ball. But he always had one guy glued to him. This year, it's like, yeah, they're going to try to stick to me, but DeRozan's too good, Vooch is too good. and then you got Lonzo as a shooter, then maybe Caruso as a shooter. How in the hell are we going to, you know, deal with that? Like somebody, like okay, even with this preseason game, they ended up leaving Zach open in the corner for a three. That wouldn't happen last year. This year it happened. So to me, it's like one of those things where it's like, we'll see. I don't think I think he has to adjust to that. That's not normal. Zach is looking to score way more without worrying about trying to get everyone involved. I mean, I want Zach. I want Zach scoring. Like that's his thing. He needs to be focused. His eyes need to be on scoring. I don't want him being passive. Like get him the ball. Like if anything we've seen the first two games, he's consistent scoring. He had 21 this night. The other game against Cleveland, he had 25. Efficient. And he started off slow in the first quarter. And he started picking it up against Cleveland. So, yes, I want him taking shots. He's the star on this team. He better get them fucking shots up for sure. Would I trade Kobe White? You know what, man? I actually thought about that the other day. I actually thought about Kobe White for Marvin Bagley. But the problem for me is okay, Bagley's he coming off the bench or is he starting? Because you got Pat Will, so somebody got to come off the bench. Number one, number two is Bagley as much of an offensive threat? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I would have to. I gotta watch more Marvin Bagley to see if I would do that. To be real, I'm not quite sure if I would go that route. I'd have to watch more Bagley to be fair, but I think that could be something to look at. Yeah, Zoe always gonna make the right play. Hey, what's up, DJ? Yeah, I'm finally live, man. They they let your boy go live. It's weird. Let's see. Vooch and Zach gotta find a balance. Uh, it's not really Vooch and Zach. It's really this team belongs to Zoe and Zach, and everybody else need to fall in place. If I'm being real, they're really their future going forward. So everybody need to play off of them. They need to be the two, dominating the ball if anything. And DeRozan needs to acclimate himself into that. And Vooch still gonna get his touches. As we've seen, he shoots and pulls that motherfucker every chance he gets when he's open. And look how many times he's been open. I made a video about that about 2 or 3 weeks ago, talking about all the open looks he was gonna get, and he's been getting them. He's just not knocking them down. But that'll change. He will knock them down in the future. Yo, what's good, Flight? Off the bench. Uh, is Bagley gonna take that? That's a pride thing, man. That's a pride thing. I mean, Zoe could get more assists, and he will get more assists. But I mean, ultimately, is that necessary for winning? Remember, I've always called him a toolbox. So for me, it's like, what does the team need? Like he had to flex to offense tonight in that second quarter because DeRozan didn't have it, and so they got a lead because he just started killing them. That's when they broke the game open. Is when he literally got them 8 points, like the mid range, and then the other two threes that follow behind it. That's when the game broke open. Then the rest of the starters come back in. It's a good game. So his assists will come, but I'm not looking for him to get dimes every night. I'm looking for him to fill in where need be and play solid defense. Yeah, Caruso is underrated, and I didn't realize how good of a passer he was. Yeah, he's a much better passer than I originally thought. I mean, he hadn't played the fourth, but I mean, nobody on this team has played in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, they got what like 28 minutes tonight, 25 minutes. I'm not sure how much more work you expect him to put in. I mean, he gave you 19, 5, and 4. And they were, keep in mind, they were winning by 40. I'm looking at it right now. It's 85 to 121 is the end score. So that's what, 36? Yeah, that's 36-point lead, right? So Zach and Zoe combined for 40. You mean without Zach and Zoe, essentially, that's what they lose by two or three. I mean, if you take away what DeRozan and Vooch, they still win that game. I mean, like And that's without the fourth quarter and them in there putting extra points on the board. Had they been in there the fourth quarter, this very well could have been a 50-point blowout. You know, it's speaking of which, I'm sitting here looking on the screen. The Pacers beat the Cavs 109 and 100. Look, all these other games are close. Let's see. Let me put on my glasses too. 102 to 103. Mavs and Clippers still playing. Pacers beat the Cavs 109 and 100. The Bucks lose to the Nets 115 to 119. See, most of these games have been close. The Bulls games have not. Once they get to like that 7 to 5 minute mark in the second quarter, is game over. Yeah, see, the Heat just beat the Spurs 109 and 105. Would the Bulls trade for a power forward? I've asked Aaron Gordon, but he cost a lot. They just paid him all that money. Um, he would essentially be perfect for what you need for this team. I would still like for them to take Maxi Kleber from my Mavs, but like, okay, let me ask you this: based off of what you've seen from the Bulls, think about this, not including Javante Green. What does it seem like they're missing the most on that court? That's the question that needs to be answered because their defense is sound. They still need another guy, another like true guy. Now Pat Will can be this dude, and that's fine. But if we're talking about like a better player, take whatever Pat Will is on defense, amplified. I want the next level or the next level. Definitely need someone that can shoot the ball, but I think they need one more passer on that court. As odd as that sounds, I think they need one more guy who can who can hit at all three levels and can play. That's just my opinion. Oh, I got disconnected there for a second. I don't know what the fuck happened with the Bulls. Okay, I think they're missing like a big defender. Yeah, what I've always wanted when I looked at this roster is I wanted like an athletic power forward that can like get to the rim and close out like within a step or two and can shoot at a pretty high clip. 40% would be great, but if it was like 38, 39%, you could work with that. And it's someone who's like pretty good at passing. I think I would be willing to shave even another tick off of shooting and just get more playmaking and, uptick in defense. I think, like, okay, for instance, if you go look at our bench unit be giving up rebounds. And I know we don't have Tony Bradley right now, but I would much rather have another guy who I know can go out there and can kind of play either small ball five or at least get out there and make something work as a five. You know, um, some people suggested Bismack Biyombo. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. I'm not gonna stay on here too long, people. Um, I just realized I could get on here, so I'll definitely do more of these in the future. I just did not know that I was actually able to go live until today, so um, I will definitely do more of these in the future. Thoughts on the Lakers lineup? Um, who do the Lakers have? I mean, I know Trevor is out. Russ, AD, LeBron is obvious. Who else are they playing? Are they starting Malik Monk, Kent Bazemore? Like who else do they have? I honestly expect the Lakers to be a top five defensive team. Um, they got shooters off the bench, and so it's just a matter. They're going to be like us, except the slower version, and they can make a play in transition, but they're not going to want to play in transition. Um, they way too old. Yeah, you got AD. Yeah, you got Russ, who's young-ish. Yeah, you got guys like Monk and Bazemore who who are young enough to run, but they want to play slow. So they'll figure out their rotation. They'll probably rest Bron on his own and play a lot of Russ and AD, and they might play. I don't know, man. That's interesting. I really have to see what the rest of the roster look like because I haven't paid that much attention to them. But I don't think any team is going to get a lot on the Lakers interior because I think they just have too many good bigs. Westbrook is an older version of Zoe, but not really. I mean, not at all. That's not even close. Like, nah, not even close, bro. Zoe can shoot. Zoe is a better pure passer, but he is nowhere near the athlete. Yes, he is a better IQ player than Russ, but Russ is just a freak of nature. Like he could literally dictate games through good play or bad. Zoe could dictate games too, but his is going to be different. His effect on the game is subtle, but I think Russ's effect is way more felt. Who should be the backup for? Honestly, none of them niggas. Derrick Jones, Alizé, or Troy Brown. I'm not impressed. None of them. I mean, let me take that back. Alizé is a decent rebounder, but he's still too short to me. So let me not say that. But I don't really care for any of them. Like at this point, if we gonna play small ball, let's just play small ball. But if we gonna play small ball, hey, Sekou is available. Let's go get Sekou. They traded him. Detroit traded him. I forgot. I think he went to like the Knicks or Brooklyn, and then they sent him to Houston, and then Houston released him. Let's go get Sekou. I mean, fuck it. We gonna play. We gonna play small ball anyway. Let's go get another light wing. I think I'm more interested in the backup forward position for DeRozan. That one is curious to me because honestly, if you put a gun to my head, I don't see how you don't play Javante Green right after DeRozan. He's 6'4", 6'5", but he brings you certain things that DeRozan don't. Like he's a much better defender. He's way more energetic off the ball, and I feel like if you put him next to Zach and Zoe or Zoe and Caruso or Caruso and Zach, I think he'll fit in perfectly with them. That's just me. I don't. I'd be more interested to see how they go with that. I don't really care about the power forward because it's going to be like power forward by committee. Or maybe the Bulls might keep DeRozan and Pat in at all times to play the four. I don't like DeRozan at the four. Like I know a lot. Like okay, for instance, right? And this is my problem with DeRozan. It's nice to say DeRozan he's a good passer in the pick and roll. He got 7 assists, but when he's not able to score, what is he doing? His defense is still suspect in some places, but this defense is able to mask it a little bit. But what is he really giving you when he can't score? First, by the end of the first half, he had 6 points. I think Caruso had 7 or 8 off the bench. He had more points than him, right? What is he giving to you when he's not scoring? He is turnover prone in the pick and roll. I'm watching him play. He's giving the ball away. Who do you like? What does he do? Bulls are emulating the 2015 Warriors. Nah. This is Phoenix. This is Phoenix on steroids. This is Steve Nash Phoenix Suns. This is Steve Nash Phoenix Suns. Except they got way more better one-on-one players. This is literally the Phoenix Suns. Or if you want to take it another way, this is the '04 Pistons if this was the offensive variant. But yeah, this ain't the Warriors. They had they got Steph and Clay. No way. No, 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 no. DeRozan is forcing it, but you got to remember he's a ball pounder, and it's hard. Like, see, Zach has the ability to just spot up and shoot. It's in him to play off ball, so it's a little bit different. He had to play a lot of on ball last year, so he got to flush that out of his system. However, the Olympics helped because he was off ball. DeRozan, everywhere he's been, he has the ball. He is not giving up that rock. You know what I'm saying? He's smart, but at the same time, I'm fucking DeMar DeRozan. I can go get buckets. And so that pride and that ego kicks in, and he's gonna force some shots. Yeah, they way better defensively. However, they ain't played anybody on offense yet, so we got to wait and see. I'm still not sold that their defense is fully gonna be there yet until I see them play some of the better teams like the Mavs, the Bucks, Brooklyn, the Lakers, Golden State, Miami. This is just some of the teams I see on the screen right now. I got to see them play some of them before we sell their defense all the way. New Jersey Knicks Nets. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Lonzo could have went for like 25 if they. Lonzo didn't want the 25. I mean, he did what he had to do, which is fine. Like, I think people want him to do way too much on offense. Like, that's not his game. He is not that dude. His main forte and his focus is simply, you know, let me fill in the gaps. Like, think about this. Even in Chino Hills, um, he would sometimes just sit in the outlet pass and hang out by the rim. And then when they needed it, like I think it was the championship game, he came out at the end of the half and took over. That's just who he is. He's not always going to be that guy that's going to, I guess the word is just dominate a game offensively. It's like, okay, I'll take over, and if I need to, I'll win the game offensively. But I'm going to carry, and I need one of you guys to come alive at the end. Yo, what's good, uh, Kimi? I hope I didn't fuck it up. I probably did. Melo and Jello were the best scores. I mean, but they already knew what to do. And the main thing was, and it was funny because at Chino Hills, it'd be like, I can outlet to Jello and he'll just give it to Melo on the cut, or I could, vice versa, switch the player up. And then it's like, okay, Zoe, let me hound whoever's taking the ball out. And then literally Melo and Jello would just sit there and camp and wait to whoever got the ball. Like, okay, we got you now. You got the ball. What you gonna do? And they would just hound you and get the turnover. The only difference is in the pros you can't do that really. So it's just like, okay, well, if I feel like it, I'll come press you full court and we'll eat some of that time off the clock. People's of expectations, though. No. Yeah, I think people want. Matter of fact, let me get my PlayStation shit going. People's expectations of Zoe. I think there's a mindset of what Zoe is supposed to be in people's eyes, and he don't always match that. Like, I think people view Zoe or want to view Zoe as like an all-time great scorer instead of just saying, okay, Zoe is who he is. I'm cool with Zoe doing things Zoe way. Okay, I'm not gonna trip. I mean, this game don't count. This is not the Pelicans' revenge game. And like, I wouldn't celebrate putting up 25 on the Pelicans team that didn't have both of their starters anyway. And for that matter, like people like, oh, they didn't have Bi and Zion. Bi and Zion helped them offensively, not on the defensive end. So, matter of fact, I'd be more pressed to say that if they had Zion, they might have more turnovers because he may be quick, but he's not. His ball handling hadn't been like that good to where it's like, okay, I can safely say he's not gonna give the ball up every game. Steph Curry with the 40. Okay. Jay Strokes Lonzo is more athletic than Rubio, yet Rubio attacks the rim. Okay, but Nall attacked the rim all night. What was he like, 3 of 15? I mean, attacking the rim is great and all, but sometimes you don't need to attack the rim the entire game. You know, if you got to cook him from outside, cook from outside. Yes, get into the lane and let them respect you. But the thing is, let me say this too. Am I scared that Rubio is attacking? Like, do I really give a damn that Rubio's attacking in the paint? Oh, Rubio got to the paint. And what are you going to do? Nothing. Like, oh, Lonzo got into the paint. What is he going to do? There's a difference between, oh, Zion got into the paint. Fuck. Versus, oh, Lonzo got to the paint. Rubio got to the paint. It don't matter. Like, unless you got a reputation, that shit don't matter. You got to build that reputation. Like, Rubio been in the league, 10 years, and nobody gives a fuck that he gets dribble penetration. All he gonna do is dribble, 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 walk around and try to give a pass to somebody. That's it. I mean, let's be real. Cat, Edwards, and D'Lo is better than Brandon Ingram and the crap they had. I mean, is anyone really expecting them to beat the Timberwolves? I'm not. Timberwolves are a better team, especially without Zion. Zion helps, but that's no, not with just Bi. So always shoots mid range of threes. You don't want to attack the rim. I mean, but to be real, okay, does he need to attack the paint more? Yes, I will concede that. But to me, like even tonight, he got into the paint and he was fishing for, the assist. That's improvement. He didn't do that at all last year on the Pelicans, right? And so for me, I want to make sure to acknowledge that because if we're gonna have this conversation, we need to keep this shit in context. Yes, get into the paint, but do what? Steve Nash would get into the paint, but he would also fish and he could finish. He was a threat all over three level scorer. He's more like Steve Nash to me than anything else right now. But he's still trying to figure it out. Like, yeah, he got a layup attempt and he missed it today. But then he got fed a layup attempt by Vooch and he made it. So he's getting there. Yeah, he is on a minutes restriction. I mean, I don't mind. People can complain. I mean, people are going to feel the way they feel about, Zoe or the games in general. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. Like I said, this game don't even count, but I'm only looking at these games for schematic value. Zoe Zoe don't pattern his game after anybody. Like if I'm being real, his game is his game because nobody plays the way Zoe has. He has certain similarities. Like offensively, he's starting to play not like Steve Nash, but Steve Nash used to fish for mid ranges. Not really mid ranges, but he would take them. He'd fish for the three. He'd fish for the layup. So to me, it's like I can see aspects of certain players. I can see aspects of Pistol Pete, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and some other players, but I don't think he patterned his game off of any of them. I think, and that's with all of the ball boys. I think like even Lamelo too. Lamelo is just the same. I think they just play the way LeVar groomed them. Yeah, definitely not LeBron. Yeah, his favorite player is LeBron, but there's only one LeBron. Like it's just like me saying I pattern my game off of Mike. I might can shoot like Mike, but I ain't got that hang time. I ain't got them genetics. I mean, let me say this too, Fourth Wonder. I mean, consider this, man. How often are they really getting in the half court sets anyway? Like, we worried about attacking the rim. Like, how? Look at this. How much fucking space is on that fucking floor? Like, are y'all seeing this shit? Like, compare that to like what the Pels had last year. How much space is on the damn floor? Like, why does he need to just go to the rim every time when he's got gravity that's pulling people out of the paint, and then it's letting DeRozan get there, Zach get there, everybody else can get on the floor or get in there just off of his gravity, helping pull people away. I mean, it's cool, but I mean, yeah, he needs to attack definitely. Take advantage of that. Take what the defense gives you. But if you're not a guy that's going to be effective in there, don't even bother, man. Work on what you got. You know, yes, work on the things that you're not good at. But shit, if you're a floor spacer, floor space. Don't be Bogdanovich trying to go and attack the rim on some dribble shit. Fuck that. You can't do that. No, that's not your game. You can work to get better at it for sure, though. Let's see. I appreciate you, Christopher House. Let's see. I hate the way this shit is. I wish it would just make all the messages stay visible. Do you think in a couple years when the Lakers and Nets are older, you think the Bulls will? I mean, shit. They going the Lakers are already old. They just have AD and Russ. Brooklyn is old in their role players, but they still relatively young. And KD, Harden, and Kyrie. Kyrie is not 30 yet, is he? Kyrie might just have turned 30, so they still kind of young. Um, Here's the thing, man. Brooklyn is gettable because they can't stay on the fucking court. And I promise you, a series between Brooklyn and Chicago probably would go 7 games, just off of style of play. Um, in a couple years, though, it depends on whatever else they get because Zach, you can't depend on Zach. I mean, not Zach, DeRozan and Vooch at that point. It depends on what else they get. But if you, at that point, you got Zion ascending, Luca ascending. There's other threats in the league. Joker, Giannis is still there. I mean, there's still other players out there they're gonna have to contend with. Um, but will those teams be a problem for them? No, I see them dusting them in the future. Zostal does not draw friction, which helps open shooters. I don't know if I quite understand what you mean with that. Doesn't draw friction. History was made. Jay Strauss. Yep, definitely Zoe and the Ball Brother style of unique. Yep. Zoe has this way. The offense will generate. I mean, the offense is going to generate just because of the scheme. I mean, them guys, they're running. They're not trying to be in the half court. If they got in the half court, they fucked up. You know, the name of the game is do not play in the half court. And if you got to play in the half court, you have half court guys. But the game is do not play in the half court. There's too many advantages to this team to running. I just think they have too many old guys in this roster too. They need to get younger in key places, but they need to get one more guy. And I would say keep your eyes on Carl Anthony Towns in the future. That might be the guy they try to recruit to be their third piece. And if they get him, good game. Good fucking game. And do you think if Kyrie does not get the vaccine, he does not play home? That depends, man. Because like I said, I think 60 wins for the Bulls. If they're the number one seed, it won't matter. He'll play 4 games on the road in Chicago. And I mean, KD and Harden are playing enough strong as it is, and they got Patty Mills off the bench. Even without Kyrie, they're threatening. They should still win the series, but I mean, it's health is one of those things with that team. You don't know. You just gotta wait. Watching too much, so you're gonna know everything about going live. Maybe. I'm lazy as fuck. I don't like putting in too much work. So, and I'm a procrastinator. So we'll see. Zoe needs to understand two speeds, footwork, hesitation, and being deceptive. Fair enough. Have their own game instead of pattern. Yeah, the ball boys do have their own game. I don't disagree. I don't think they're all at all. Vooch is 30. Vooch and DeMar are both 32, right? I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. The last time LeBron played defense full time was 2016 when the Warriors when they were in that finals with them. His defense has declined since then. He was 32. You got to start sacrificing somewhere on the court, and you're not gonna want to run with these dudes. Like I'm 33 years old. I see little kids. My son has more than enough energy for like three motherfuckers, and I sit here and I'm like, I'm not about to run with you. I can only imagine, even as an athlete, you sitting here, you got Lonzo is 24, you got motherfuckers that's 8 years older than him, and it's like, bruh, I ain't finna do this shit. I promise you, I ain't finna run with you. So they're closer to descending than they are to ascending. Matter of fact, they've already peaked. They have no higher they could go. They're on the decline. Bulls Hornets rivalry, not really. It's really only if it is. It's a so mellow rivalry, which ball boys. I don't. I guess. I mean, it's the Ball family wins no matter what. Okay, Vooch is 30, Demar's 32. Same concept though. Like, what other heights can they get to? Demar's not going to be a better defender. He's losing athleticism as he gets older. Vooch was never going to be a good defender, and he's going to lose even more of what he had. All he's going to have is a jump shot and maybe rebound. So I mean, what more does he have to offer you? You like I've said, I would much rather them have Carl Anthony Towns at least. He's like 25, 26. He's right there with him. So why wouldn't you want to get him at the peak? He's already had the best shooting season as a big man historically. Why wouldn't you want that versus Vooch at like 30? See, Vooch's contract is for this year and next year. He'll be, if let's just say he's 30, right? He'll be 32. Are you trying to offer him a 4 year, 200K deal? I mean, 200 mil deal? I'm not. They paying Chris Paul 120 million basically to sit and rot in hell on Phoenix. Fuck that. And then DeRozan, I mean, you don't need like you could get by with a Harrison Barnes and won't even cost the same amount. But I mean, hell, you could replace him with Andrew Wiggins and you would still have like similar productivity, but with better defense. That's the one thing I will say. I did not like the DeMar DeRozan move for that alone. I think they could have spent that money on another player, someone younger that would fit the timeline. Because when those two go, it's like, okay, who's replacing them? That's the question. Everything is so weak that he's already been shown. Yeah, So's gonna always improve, man. I ain't worried about that. He's a grinder in the gym. Even the last two games, his handles have improved, right? So you could tell even the release on his shot has improved. Everything about his game has improved. Okay. So I'm not worried about him. He'll be 24 this month. He ain't even 24 yet. He's still 23. Okay. In my eyes, he still got a year and a half, 2 years of development left. And then after that, okay, let's see what he got. So I ain't worried about it. He'll be fine. You much rather have Cat, but you got to work with what you got right now. I mean, okay, you got to work with what you got. Okay, so what does that mean? You got to work with what you got. Who? Okay, everybody agrees Zach is the number one option, right? Zach is the one everybody wants to stop. Okay, so you stop Zach. Who's the next guy? Who's the next guy? You stop Zach. Who's the next guy? Vooch, DeRozan, or Zoe? Or other? Who takes the Bulls over the hump? If we're talking this year, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that because I don't know every single player. Because you know what? Okay, I'll give you one, but they can't get him. Julius Randle. Julius Randle takes them over. If they somehow had Julius at the power forward, they wouldn't lose. They beat every team out there this year. And I'm not saying Julius is the best player they can get, but I'm just saying he does enough of the things I think you would want to where he would fit. He could be small ball five. He's definitely a strong, burly power forward. He can knock down shots. He can play make. He can rebound. He's definitely gonna play defense. He does enough of the stuff that you like. You get Julius Randle, good game. Pack it up. Who you build around? Uh, nigga, that's a hard one because let me like okay. I don't like any of these choices. Cat don't play D. Embiid is injury prone. Joker don't play D, but he's the best probably big. Zion is injury prone and don't play D, and then Luca's a diva. But Luca is the most talented player of them all. If you have to put money to my head and I'm a GM, I'm taking Luca. I'm taking Luca because Luca is better than all of them. And he's younger. Well, he's not younger than Zion, but he's number six in the league to me. The big five and then Luca. He's number six. He's the next up. I would build around Luca, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Mavs fan. He's the best talent. And if I'm gonna have to miss out on something, I'm gonna take the best talent. Would you agree with this? The style of play makes number one, number two option, etc. Well, an irrelevant concept. The quality of offers is going to be so. I agree, except for one thing. There has to be a number one because when palms get sweaty and you need something to happen, you want the ball in the best player's hands. So that's Zach. Zach is the number one. I think everybody else falls in line after that. And there is a pecking order out there anyway. So it's kind of like Zoe is obviously the fourth guy. He's the fourth option. But the two guys is Zach and DeRozan, and then Vooch takes any other available open shot he can get, which you've seen he's taken every. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's see. Because I can pull up stats here, right? Oh, yep, I can pull up stats. Hold on. Let's go and get that old box score action going in. Let's see. Vooch took 18 shots. He took more shots than anybody and made seven. That's 38.9%. DeRozan took 13 shots and made six. He and Vooch missed more shots than they made tonight. Vooch missed 11. DeRozan missed seven. DeRozan still shot 46%. Zach shot 57%, and he was 8 of 14. Zoe shot 77.8%, and he was 7 of 9. But again, they missed too many shots, right? But Zach is the best player, and Zach had the most points on the team, and he took the second most shots. And the next best scorer only took 9 shots, and that was Lonzo. It's to me. Let me look on this bench too. Caruso had 10 points again. 10 points. 10 points off the bench. So I mean, yeah, Zach is going to get his shots. He's the most efficient. Now he didn't shoot good from three. He was 2 of 7. Matter of fact, all the starters were garbage from three except Zoe, 5 of 6. He carried them from range. But I mean, what do you want? Yeah, they don't have to work hard to score. That's the point. That's the reason why you play Lonzo style of ball. You're not supposed to work hard for shots. That was the entire point. You're not supposed to work hard for shots. Like LeVar is a visionary for this. They might miss shots, but they're getting so many more. Yes, this is exactly LeVar's concept. The only thing is, you got good players. But again, I could upgrade. Like this, obviously ain't the best that this team can look. If you told me Lonzo and Zach are the best, players ish, like them the guys I'm keeping, we started Javante Green, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic, right? I could save money and pay Jonas Valanciunas to do exactly what Vucevic is doing. I could pay Wiggins to do what DeRozan is doing, and he's a better three-point shooter. I'm not even going to touch Javante Green, but I'm basically saving $25 million, and I got players who are lesser allegedly, and they can do the exact same thing, and for the most part are younger, with the exception I think Valanciunas is like 28. So if I can save money, get the same production, and be young doing it, what's the issue? And again, this system will work for all of them. Cat want to be in the mid range anyway. Can he knock down the shot? Yeah. I understand the quality, but my thing is okay. Again, you're talking about DeRozan and Vucevic's gravity, and I get that. I'm not saying they don't have gravity. I'm not saying that they're not quality players. They're both former All Stars, with Vooch being the most previous All Star. And I'm high on Vooch. Don't get it wrong. I think he's the cog that makes all of this work because of the spacing in his offensive gravity. But what I'm saying is, if we're talking from a financial perspective here, you can get the similar production for less money. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean that Vooch and DeRozan don't work. Doesn't mean that Wiggins and Valanciunas don't work. But I'm saying if you want to build long-term success, you need money. You need money. You need financial flexibility. If you're gonna have financial flexibility, you can't have those two on the roster. That's all I'm saying. I mean, just consider this, right? Golden State, to keep Kevin Durant, they had to gut their roster. They didn't have a bench. So when Kevin Durant went out, guess what? They roster like was garbage in the finals, and they had nothing that they could rely on. And so it was just key in on Steph. Clay went out, and then it was just Steph and Draymond, and they had nothing else. What if they'd had a quality bench? What if they had someone like a Jordan Clarkson off that bench who could take some pressure off of him? What if they'd had some very good pieces off that bench to benefit them? I'm not just looking at this from the prospect of, okay, short term. I'm looking at this long term. DeRozan is going to go down, or he's going to not be as efficient, and he's already slowing the ball in the pace anyway. Okay, why not get the younger guy? And you could pay them less because they're younger too. Like they don't have that, seniority tax. Once you've been in the league 10 years, you got to pay them a certain amount at minimum. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what? Even look at this. Who got the highest plus minus out of the starters right now? Zoe, plus 32. And outside of Javante Green, he played the least minutes of the big four, and he still got the highest plus minus. Younger player. DeRozan got the next highest plus minus, but honestly, I'm looking at his stat line right now. He contributed 2 assists and 6 rebounds. Okay. Meanwhile, Javante Green contributed 6 rebounds, same, and 1 assist, and played like 10 minutes less, plus 24. Zoe, 5 rebounds, 1 less rebound, and double the assist. Played 3 minutes less, plus 32. Oh, by the way, Lonzo got 2 steals. DeRozan don't have any. Lonzo got 1 block. DeRozan don't have any. Neither of them got to the free throw line. DeRozan took no threes. Well, he took 1 3. Zoe took 6 and made 5. Yeah, they were unstoppable until KD got hurt. Yes, they definitely lost to LeBron. But they didn't lose to LeBron because see people okay they lost to LeBron, but Steph was still hurt those playoffs. He played hurt. People forget that. Had that been a fully healthy Steph, they pushed through the entire league and they still win and they get the record and they're the champions. He was hurt. Freaking what won them the game? What won them the series is when they lost. What was his name? Andrew Bogut. When Andrew was it Bogut or David? I can't remember the big's name. When they lost him, Kyrie and LeBron feasted at the basket. That's when they lost the series. Game 5, when he got hurt, it was game over. They could not stop them from getting into the paint and doing whatever they wanted to do. They didn't lose the series necessarily because of Steph. They lost it because they didn't have a big. That was before they got KD. I don't know if Steph would have got 5, but that nigga Steph would probably be 4-1. Actually, I take that back because KD wouldn't have left. We don't know where KD would have went. That's the question. Because depending on where KD goes, that tips the tide of the game. The only reason he felt comfortable going there in the first place was because they lost. If they hadn't lost, he wouldn't have went there. So does KD stay with OKC? Does he decide to team up with LeBron? Um, with a Clippers still, I don't know if the Clippers. Does he go to? Does he go to Houston with Harden? I mean, all these are plausible things. Like we don't know. And I'm telling you, if KD is with Harden, Steph ain't getting another ring. He's not getting another ring. Hell, for the fuck of it, KD could have went to New Orleans with Anthony Davis. Steph would win another ring. Neither would Braun either. If Steph was fully hurt, if Steph was fully hurt during that era, it would be the same, right? You can say KD got hurt, but what if Steph was fully hurt during the era? What do you mean if he got hurt during the era? Like, expound on that. I don't follow you. I mean, injuries. Injuries are always the elephant in the room. You can't account for, but the risk you take. But the thing is, okay, you're top heavy, and like, okay, here's the thing: if you're top heavy, injuries hurt you worse if it's from somebody at the top. If you're balanced out on the roster, it's not as bad if you lose a guy, depending on where it is. Like, you got more opportunities to lose, I guess, a player of lesser value because you got more spots there than I guess one of your top dogs, is what I'm saying. It's you can kind of make it if you lose somebody in the middle for the most part. Now, if you lose a key piece like they did their center, that's a different story. But I put it like this, okay? If LeBron, AD, and Russ, let's say LeBron goes out with a season-ending injury, are they going to the finals? No. But let's just say this is LeBron, AD, and let's take it back a couple years to the roster they had a couple years ago, right? If they mm, if they lost Danny Green, would they still win the title? Yes. There's a difference. Now you might say, okay, what if they just lost Malik Monk? Malik Monk would hurt them because they don't have that shooting off the bench for sure. And that means that's more pressure on the rest of them to make up for it. But they can still tank that a little bit. Damn, I almost been on here an hour. Look, ultimately, at the end of the day, um, the fourth wonder, I don't disagree that, injuries are important. What I am saying is this, because originally we were talking about the hierarchy of the team. Okay, this team is going to work better when everybody buys in and they're all running. We both agree there, I assume. This team is going to work better when they put the ball in Lonzo's hands to play, make, or set up, and everybody falls in row. We agree with that. Okay. The issue me and you, I think, started having is about Vooch and DeMar DeRozan. Look, I'm glad to have them on the team, but because I'm thinking 5, 6, 7 years also in the future, I understand that 5, 6, 7 years in the future, they're not going to be anywhere close to the same level that they're going to be at now. Meanwhile, 5, 6, 7 years in the future, Zach is 26, Zoe will be 24 here. So 5, 6, 7 years in the future, Zoe's 30, Zach is what, 32? They're going to be relatively still where they are, or around the same level that they are, if not better. So what I'm saying is, DeRozan would be 38, Vooch would be like what, 36? We know they're not the same players anymore. It's better to go ahead and start looking at a way to hedge that and get younger, and that will help you in the long run. Now, I personally think they're going to keep DeRozan for 2 years, and the third year they're going to trade him. That's what I think. Vooch, I think they're going to see how Marco pans out, and if Marco seems like he can shoot and can do a little bit, they'll put Marco there. Um, but impending free agency is probably like I think Cat is the guy that they're going to try to recruit. Like I really think they're going to try to go after Cat. But for right now, DeRozan and Vooch takes care of all the stuff that they need them to take care of, and I would much rather have them two on a team than not have them. So I'm not necessarily, I guess, opposed to your viewpoint, but what I'm saying is I'm just looking further down the line in the future. I just have my beliefs that they should look to get younger sooner rather than later. I think it's easier to get younger sooner than it is later, is what I'm saying. Especially if Lonzo and Zach, which they seem to fit, man. So if they seem to fit, I don't see why you don't say, okay, this is the core plus Pat Will, and you build around them. And I would with that point, I would much rather slide Pat Will to the three and just work on getting a power forward or the in the center. And if you can't find a power forward, cool. Play Pat at the power forward. Look for the wing and the center. Yeah, man. The only thing I hate is Cat don't play D. But if you tell him to follow the same defensive principles as Vooch, he's a younger, more athletic version of Vooch with better scoring ability anyway. Bruh, I man, that's hell on wheels. That's all I gotta say. Oh yeah, Fourth Wonder. Nice talking to you too, man. I like talking to all y'all, man. I just like talking hoops in general. So, that's what I'm here for. I'm about to get off here in a second anyway. It's getting hot, and I want to play some Overwatch before I go to bed. Yeah, it's 10:30. I'm about to get off here in a couple minutes. So, I'm gonna answer a couple more questions, and then I'm gonna close this thing out. Um, Anybody got a couple more questions or something they want me to get to? Hell, my video should be uploaded by now too as well. So y'all can go check that out too. Hey, good night, Rap God. Anybody got any other questions? Want to pick my brain before we discontinue this thing? You welcome, Trey. Good night. Hell yeah, man. I mean, they gonna stick with it. That's their thing. They gotta stick with it, and I don't blame them. But it is what it is. Appreciate the strength. Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. KM. Will I be conducting more streams? Now that I can go live, I sure will. I have to figure out a decent schedule for me because my life is hectic right now. Um, this is just kind of like a fun accident that happened. I can't promise you like, oh, I'll be doing streaming, 2 or 3 times in the coming week. I can't make that promise. I'm not saying that, but it might be a while before I do my next one. Who knows? I might do it, next game. I don't know. We'll see. But I will definitely, now that I know I'm able to, I will definitely try to do more for sure. This might be better than just doing videos, so I might do this more to get the interaction because I actually like being able to talk with y'all in the middle of it. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll definitely try to accommodate you guys because I do this for y'all anyway. All right, Fourth Wonder, you too, man. Nice talking to you. Yeah, man. I want to get it. I want to do more. It's just like I said, I got to figure it out. Like my work schedule is hectic, man. I'm up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I don't get home till like 7. And some nights, if I have like a trip to do after work, I don't get home till like 10, 11 o'clock, and then I have to go right back to sleep to get up. So you could just imagine how daunting that is on the body. And actually, I haven't been at work the last 2 days because I've been sick. So I'm I'm like even this is wearing me out. But I'm trying to tough it out and everything. But yeah, man, my work schedule is hectic. It takes a whole lot out of me. Doing this is hard. But you got to make your money. You got to make a living. So you got to do what you got to do. You know how that is. So well, if I don't see any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I'm not even sure how the fuck you end this. I'm going to figure it out, though. Y'all going to fuck with me here until I figure this out. Let's see. Uh, let's see. I came in late, but I watched the full replay. Oh, yeah, Mo. Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate you for coming through. And everybody else, too. Even the people that came in and came out. It wasn't that many, but I appreciate all y'all. But I'm going to catch y'all later, man. So y'all have a good night. It's a pleasure talking to y'all. And post this motherfucking stats.